I have asked a lot of leaders, managers, on why are there people leaving the organization, their organization. They have identified 7 reasons.
Forging exit.
So lead to inspire. Hi everyone, nandito ako ngayon sa labas ng office namin and it's very refreshing. The view is so refreshing. At the same time, very motivating in a sense. That's why today I'm going to share with you some of the things that I have learned from a training that I have conducted recently. Just to share with you, a couple of days ago, I went to this department store, and as a consultant, I am always equipped with that art of questioning. So I always like to ask questions. So tinanong ko yung sales lady, "Hey ate, why do you seem so unhappy? Nag-break ba kayo ng boyfriend mo or napagalitan ka ba ng boss mo?" And then she answered me straight to the point and said, "I'm going to resign soon. There's no future here. There's no career here." And I was surprised. And because of that answer. And then, of course, after a couple of days, nakasalubong ko rin yung former student ko. And then we said hi and hello. And then sabi niya sa akin, "Sir, I already resigned from my work." And sabi ko, "Why did you resign? Sayang naman." And he said na, "I don't know, it felt like parang yung trabaho routinary, wala na ako natututunan. So I want some challenging roles. I want something that will allow me to learn more. Kasi feeling ko lahat ng bagay na dapat kong natutunan ko na." And so I resigned. Well, that's it. Now the question is, are you one of the sales ladies that I have just mentioned or the engineer that I have just mentioned who is contemplating to resign soon? Or are you still mastering your courage to hand in your resignation and leave your workplace forever? So, there are 7 reasons kung bakit umaalis yung mga tao sa workplace, bakit sila nag-resign sa trabaho. And that's what I'd like to explain to you. The first one, very Filipino in culture, in nature, salary. Kapag mababa yung sahod, umaalis yung mga empleyado. They tend to compare their salary with a friend or someone they know who works in the same industry with the same position, and when this company is offering a better salary package than what they're receiving, then it's a signal that sometimes they contemplate on resigning, especially when there is an opportunity outside. So salary in the Filipino context is one factor why a lot of employees leave their organizations. But then, apart from the salary, which is very basic, I think isa pang bagay kung bakit sila umaalis, yung having better opportunities available outside, na walang opportunity, na hindi nila makita na opportunity sa workplace nila. There's this what we call the line of sight. Sometimes you can see na in the next 5 years or 10 years, I will be here, I will be in this position or whatsoever. But it seems na kapag walang ganong opportunity in the workplace, so you might be thinking of, should I stay here knowing the fact na wala naman na akong magiging future or wala naman available opportunity for me? So would you pack your bag and then leave your workplace forever? But honestly, in the training that I conducted, some of the reasons why there are people are leaving is because of the available opportunity that they see outside instead of inside. Next, the third one is the lack of opportunities for personal growth and development. Natatakot yung maraming kumpanya na mag-invest sa training and development. Para sa kanila, investment in people requires a lot of money, and that is just an expense. They don't realize that when you invest in your people, you are also creating an opportunity for your people to stay and then to create more innovative ideas that will improve what they do in the workplace, or sometimes that will improve the system, the organization as a whole. But a lot of employees are leaving the organization because they cannot see any single strand of opportunity for personal growth and development. Imagine dumating ka na rank and file ka, and then whatever it is na training na nakuha mo for 5 years, it's just 1 or 2 I don't think that you are providing people, your people, the opportunity to grow and develop. And so when there's no opportunity for personal growth and development, people will leave the organization. That's the third one. I think yung fourth one naman, ang sinabi ng mga managers, why are there people leaving the organization? That's because of lack of opportunities for self-fulfillment. Yung meron naman willingness yung mga tao na mag-share ng alam nila. For example, yung isang tao na to magaling sa Excel, he is willing to share it with his colleagues. But sometimes it's the opportunity that is being given to them or the lack of opportunity to share their knowledge. That's why they leave the organization. So marami kasi, especially in some organizations, may mga leaders who are diminishers instead of multipliers. They don't give opportunities for their people to grow, to share their knowledge, and to show their talent and skills. Kasi feeling nila, these people will be threat to their positions later, or to their position later on. So, but they don't realize na ang self-fulfillment is something that leaders should create. It is an opportunity that they have to create for their people, for their subordinates. Kasi as human beings, we have that desire not only to learn, but also to share, but also to give. So that opportunity of sharing and giving what they have and what they know is very important. However, they are not provided with that opportunity. That's why they leave the organization. Very common. The fifth one is, sabi ng mga managers, there are people who have resigned already complain about the work environment, which is stressful. So the fifth one is a stressful work environment. So how does it happen? I don't think that I need to explain it, but then usually stressful work situation when there's imbalance in life and work. At the same time, there's too much pressure. People are no longer in good relationship with each other. And then sometimes it's really the emotional burden that they carry that's adding so much stress to them, but not really the work. Kasi minsan, yung trabaho, they can finish it in 2 hours, 3 hours, but sometimes you tend to manage the feelings and emotions, your relationship with your colleagues, your relationship with your boss. These are some of the factors that contribute to the stress level of people in the workplace. So if your people are leaving the organization, your organization, because the reason is a stressful work environment, maybe it's about time that you have to reconsider that kind of environment that you create for your people. Because I think there should be a balance. You have to strike a balance between life and work. And if there is imbalance, then stress comes in. And when there is stress, if stress is already within the system of your people, then they're not going to perform very well. They will be demotivated, they will be uninspired, and they won't be able to accomplish something in the workplace. Next, another one is there's lack of teamwork, communication, and engagement. I think nabanggit ko na to before, that teamwork requires relationship. And relationship is an agreement between 2 or more individuals in the team. It has to be mutual. It has to be beneficial for all, to both parties. So I think when there's no teamwork, usually it happens when someone is feeling magaling, while the other one is not magaling, and then they tend to look down to that person. Or teamwork is really about how do you accomplish the task with all of you working together. There is coordination and collaboration. I think teamwork can be achieved when there's a good relationship in the workplace. And then there should be collaboration. There's a continuous and open communication. There's an engagement. Pero if you don't have good relationship with your colleagues, with your teammate, then you won't be able to achieve and accomplish the task. So the sixth element, the sixth reason why people are leaving the organization is because of lack of teamwork, lack of open and good communication. There's no engagement in the workplace. And the last one is which is very important. Sabi nga nila, people leave the organization not because of the organization, but because of their leaders. So the seventh reason why employees leave the organization is lack of leadership. Leaders and managers don't realize their role, that apart from knowing if their people are accomplishing the task, they also have to realize that they have to manage people, relationship, motivation, I think change management. So all these things are very important in their role as leaders and managers. But when people begin to say that I am leaving because I can no longer manage my boss, I can no longer handle my boss, I can no longer work with this person, then the problem is relationship and it requires good leadership. And therefore, if you're a leader, if you're a manager, and if your people is leaving, if your people are leaving the organization, and the reason is that they're not happy because of their leader, then as a leader, you have to think about it. Why aren't they happy under your tutelage? Why aren't they happy under your leadership? You have to think about it. But I think what we have to remember about leadership is that meron nga tayong tinatawag na emotional intelligence. There should be psychology of leadership. There should be a clearer understanding of multiple intelligence. There should be a balance between task and relationship. All these things are very important in leadership. However, I think leaders tend to focus their role more on the accomplishment of tasks, and they let go of that relationship aspect. Remember, in leadership communication, we have this what we call as inspirational communication and operational communication. If you want your people to accomplish the task, you focus on operational communication. Look at the things that they're doing. But if you want your people to be inspired and motivated, then I think that's where we focus, we talked about inspirational communication. There's a need for you to motivate, to inspire your people every day so that they will perform better in the workplace. So again, with my recent engagement with a certain company, I have asked a lot of leaders, managers, on why are there people leaving the organization, their organization. They have identified 7 reasons. What about you? Why are you now in the position of thinking or rethinking about your situation in the workplace? And do you have now the courage to say that I'm going to leave the organization because I am no longer happy, I am stressed, there's no opportunity for me to grow and develop in this company? I don't know, but you might have your reasons why you stay or you leave the organization. If you find what I have just shared with you realistic, and it allowed you to think, to reflect about your practices as leaders in the organization, or as employees, if you think that it's not really making you a better person because of a lot of negative things that you are experiencing in the workplace, maybe it's high time that you reconsider all the things that I have just identified. And you can learn from it. You can also share it with your leaders, with your managers, with your boss, or even with your colleagues. And if you think that there is a need for you to learn more about dealing with various negative situations in your organization, then you can just listen and watch our YouTube channel where we share different stories, different anecdotes, and different principles about good leadership, good management, about motivation, about teamwork, about collaboration. So thank you very much for your time watching this video. And if you'd like to share this, please feel free to do so because we would like to inspire as many people as possible.